What's going on, guys? It's your boy Rum 300 back again with another video. Yes, we back again, and look where we at. We at Osme Perfumery. We in Miami. You know I had to come through here, show my love, you know, because this is a beautiful fragrance shop. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna check out some of these banging fragrances here. All right, y'all see they got everything. You know they got everything here. So hold your horses. Let me smell some things. I'm gonna pick some of these few fragrances out that I might pick up. You don't know. You never know. And then after I figure out which ones I like the most, we're gonna talk about them. And then I just might buy one or two fragrances. All right, you got to stay tuned. Let's go.
I'm in Wonderland when she coming down the hallway. I don't care if she take all of mine, like it ain't shit but a dollar sign. Young gun talk, coming in from.
We're in here. We got a couple of fragrances that we're picking up. Man, I had a good time, but we're gonna come back sometime at the end of this week so we can do a proper film because there's a lot of people here, so I can't really take his time up and film. But I'm definitely gonna pick up something. So stay tuned for the review, the unboxing, all that, and then we're gonna do, like I said, a proper review and a proper overview of the whole place. And we'll get back to you. All right, y'all. This is your boy Rum 300. Like I always say, it's okay if you want to smell like rum. Peace.
All right, guys, I am back from Miami, and I told you guys I was going to show y'all if I picked up a fragrance, right? I know y'all was anticipating what's going on, Ron, what's going on. Now, I want to be clear, and I want to apologize. The video was short, of course, because I couldn't record in there like I thought I could. You know, Mo was really, really accommodating and actually told me that he didn't mind me filming in his boutique. I just didn't want to take up the space when there were so many people shopping, and I felt uncomfortable trying to film in, you know, the proximity of everybody shopping, right? In reality, Mo literally told me, hey, Rome, you could have filmed this. It would have been a, you know, a better kind of video because you'd have saw like in real time people interacting with us, and the whole, you know, and the whole experience would have been more realistic. So the next time I'm in Miami, I'm definitely going to do that. I'm going to film the chaos, everything to go in there, because, man, when I tell you, it was a lot. It was a lot going on. There were probably 20, 25 people in there at a time, and I was in there for about an hour and a half to 2 hours just sniffing fragrances. And you saw in the video that I showed you guys at least, I think it was maybe like 8 or 9 fragrances that I picked that were just some of the best fragrances that I've smelled in all of my, you know, perfume shopping experiences of going to different boutiques. And honestly, I went there for like 4 fragrances to smell, and Mo and his wife were like, hey, you got to try these fragrances out. They're not really popular. They're pretty affordable in the 140 to 160 range. Check these out. These will blow some of the other fragrances out. So I'm gonna put some pictures up here and the names of these fragrances, because honestly, I can't remember the names off the top of my head, but I want to show you some of these gorgeous fragrances. I can tell you the 2 fragrances that were my favorites, I'll put up here. The first one, once again, I can't remember the exact name, but I can tell you that it was warm, it was sweet, it was oriental. It definitely had a amber note, and I know it possibly had, if I'm correct, I think it had either a caramel note or a oud note. I can be completely wrong. It smelled excellent. It smelled elegant. It smelled expensive, and it was the extrait version of the perfume. So that one was outstanding. The other one, I'll put the picture up here also. This one smelled like an apple, almost a candy apple. That's the best way I can put it. It was fresh, it was sweet, it was, once again, slightly warm, and then it had this refreshing green apple vibe that was nice. Subtle, not heavy, definitely great for that summer vibe, and a great fragrance. But through all the fragrances that I smelled, the one I picked up, the fragrance I picked up, I want to show you guys right now, and I want to review it for you guys right now. And that fragrance is Tango. Yes, Masque Milano Tango. Oh, man, I've been wanting this fragrance for so many years. And I finally got it. Y'all ready for a review on this bad boy? Stay tuned. We about to get into it. Cecile Zarokian is the creator of this fragrance. She is hands down my favorite perfumer. She just is a artist when it comes to perfumery creations, and I've smelled close to maybe 20 of her creations, and I love pretty much 85% of them. Liked 100% of the ones I smelled, and I knew smelling this one just from the notes I was gonna love it. So when I went to Miami, my focus, let me go down there and let me try this out. I'm gonna get it. I know I am. Hopefully it doesn't completely throw me off from the notes and it doesn't smell anything like I thought it would. And it did not disappoint. Man, gorgeous. Even in the 90-degree weather in Miami, spraying this on, this overwhelming resinous amber, slight boozy, aromatic, and just spicy fragrance just overwhelmed me. I was in bliss. I was in so much joy because, man, y'all know me. Y'all know that I love my dark fragrances. Y'all know I like my boozy fragrances, and especially my spicy fragrances. And this was all that jumbled in one. And, you know, for a perfume that is, what, 30 mil, man, I sprayed, and it was, you can tell, if you saw the video, you could tell that fragrance is so popular. It was about that much left in there, right? And Mo told me, he was like, yeah, I only got one bottle left, man. So I was like, all right, let me spray it on my hand. That thing was on me, and just on my hand, it surrounded my entire body. I've never had a fragrance do that. Now, it probably radiated off my hand or, you know, projected when I moved or I smelled it, you know, wafts of it. But I sprayed this thing on my hand, and it was like a cocoon of amber and spices. Now, in the opening, yes, of course, you're going to get this dark resinous amber that is slightly boozy, you know, and that lasts pretty much the entire fragrance. To a point was almost too much, right? In the opening, you're gonna get a little bit more of, in my opinion, a amber rose combination in the opening, right? That's immediately met with this like barrel of boozes. It's like whiskey sitting in, not even, let me put it like this. It's like a bourbon whiskey barrel with aged scotch inside of it. That's how it smelled. And I was sold. I said, man, this thing is right. But I was like engulfed in it just by one spray. I'm telling y'all, this thing was just, I was like, man, I don't know if I can rock this right now. And I really wanted to wear it in Miami. I really did, but I had to be cautious. I had to be cautious because I didn't want to choke myself out, and I didn't want to be uncomfortable in, you know, 85 and 90-degree weather and having this thick, heavy fragrance on me. And I mean that. This is a heavy fragrance, y'all. So as the fragrance starts to develop, I'm walking around the store, I'm smelling other things from other companies, spraying them on paper, spraying them on tabs, and something came out of nowhere. I was like, yo, this got a little bit of cinnamon spice with this tonka bean note. Now this is mid. We about like maybe I'm an hour there, right? I'm like, yeah, okay. So I go and smell some Fragrance du Bois fragrances because at this point I haven't really smelled that many. I had about maybe 5 or 6 that I've smelled through the line, but Fragrance du Bois just landed in Osme. So I'm like, okay, let's try some of those. Spray some of their most expensive, heaviest, beautiful developed creations, and this still outperformed them. This thing still outperformed. Now, quality and juice smell, that's, preference. Don't get me wrong, no slight to Fragrance du Bois. They got some amazing fragrances, but the ones that I smelled, and comparing the price, the size, the performance, and the price, size, and performance, that I said, man, I don't know. I think I'm gonna lean towards this one. So that's what made me purchase it, because it was between the Fragrance du Bois fragrance, I'm not gonna mention the name, and this. And of course, the prices are drastically different. But I was on vacation. I didn't really care about the price. That wasn't a concern to me. It was what I wanted to smell and what I wanted to purchase. And soon I will have the other fragrance, but we talking about this one right now. That's the reason I purchased it, because I compared it to a highly established, well-respected fragrance that the community loves, and I totally was digging the fragrance, but this one smelled even better. All right, so we in the middle of the fragrance, right? And I started filming, talking about all the fragrances that I had there. Once again, I had to cut a lot of that out. But as I'm thinking to myself, I'm convinced that I want to buy this fragrance, but let me smell some more. Smelled some fragrances from Bodicea they had. Smelled some fragrances from, what was the name? BDK. Once I smelled the BDK fragrances and I smelled this again, I stopped filming, went and purchased the fragrance. That was it. I was like, yeah, I got this. So I've had this fragrance for about now a little while. I can't remember how long, not long, but long enough for me to have an idea of what it smells like, right? And I can tell you right now, this is this is definitely the go-to party fragrance in my collection. This is the most flamboyant, outrageous, and over-the-top smell me fragrance I have in my collection, hands down. The amber is amped up. The cinnamon is amped up. The tonka bean is just a trumpet full of just notes pumping in your face. The boozy aspect combined with the spicy aspect is just a wonderful dream. This is literally, you're in bliss when you smell this. In no moment will you be in the period of just kind of comfortable, because you're going to smell it. This is going to wake you up. This is going to be like you're in a rave party. That's how strong, that's how potent, that's how good this thing smells. Now, some people probably don't like that. Some people will say, no, Rum, I don't want to smell the fragrance all day. I don't want it to be on my skin. This is probably not the fragrance for you. To me, I'm wearing this late fall, early winter, all through the winter. If I'm going out, I'm definitely going outside and hanging out with my friends, going out in town, or if I'm going out with my wife and I know we're going to be walking around town doing things, maybe going to one restaurant to another, bar or something like that. If we're doing that, this is going with me. I'm putting this on because I know it's going to cut through that, 50 and below weather. There's another aspect of this fragrance that I really like. The woody notes. The woody notes in the dry down, it gives me a little bit more sophistication. This is where I think that not the younger people would say, oh, this is definitely too young for someone in their 30s or 40s or 50s. No, the sandalwood, the cedarwood, this definitely makes this fragrance a little bit more mature, a little bit more refined, and definitely something that anybody that wants to wear a gown, a suit, dress up really nice, or just a grown fragrance, this is one to get. Telling you guys this is a fantastic fragrance. You guys know about it. I know you veterans that have been collecting for a while know about this fragrance. But I'm talking to the new ones, the guys and the girls that just started collecting, maybe a year, maybe 6 months, maybe today. This is a fragrance you want to get your nose on. Now, the ones that just started today, I'm going to say it's probably not something you want to start with. But if you've been collecting for at least a year, your nose is mature enough to start to appreciate things like this. Definitely give this one a chance. And for all my veterans that have passed up on this because of a 30 ml bottle, look at my face when I tell you, y'all better grab it, because I'm a sprayer. I go, 10 sprays heavy. Not with this joint. 3, maybe 4 sprays. Good into tomorrow. Good into tomorrow. Absolutely. I'm not joking. You will choke yourself and everybody else out wherever you go. You're going to be in there like, I smell good, but I can't breathe. No, don't want to do that. 3, maybe 4 sprays set for the rest of the night. All right? Date night, absolutely. Unisex, absolutely. And one of the best fragrances in my collection. Get your nose on it. That's it. All right, I'm out of here. Like I always say, it's okay if you want to smell like Rome. I'll check you guys out in the next video. Until then, peace.